With DNA testing becoming more accessible, conversations around paternity, trust, and marriage are becoming more common. What was once private discussion is now public debate, raising questions about honesty and family stability. Join me as I speak to respondents on the streets of Ogba, Lagos.
It's because they don't trust their wife now. If you trust your wife, why should you be asking for DNA? I don't think it's a good idea if there is no trust. It's not a good idea.
The reason why DNA test is going viral this time in this kind of era, this our era, is because of it's just prior to lack of trust. Yeah, I believe if you really trust your partner and you truly work out things well with your partner, things like that will not occur. Back to those days whereby at late 90s, okay, early 90s and late 70s, 80s, DNA has been in existence for a very long period of time, but then it's not this viral as we experience in this generation of ours, because then there was trust. Then the wife and the husband and the wife, they do work hand in hand to support their children, and the essence of extramarital affairs, the rate of extramarital affairs then was so low, but you can compare to this generation of ours. So I believe now, if any man is not doing that now, I think you are just lying. You are just trying to like put your life at risk. And the other aspect of this is, well, the other time I said it is both good and bad. I said 70% good and 30% bad. It is 30% bad in the sense that, peradventure, maybe you happen to have a very supportive partner, a partner who you can trust, and you peradventure do that kind of thing, and it turns out to be like negative. That is, the child eventually belongs to you. If the other partner gets to know, maybe your wife gets to know that, in fact, if the marriage don't crash, then the marriage is it will likely sink, because the vow and the trust where the marriage is built on is crashed already.
Well, what I would say is, then there's an issue of lack of trust, because what will make you ask your wife for paternity even while married has to do with trust issues. Probably something would have happened that would have warranted the husband trying to find out, okay, if this child is mine, or maybe there's a form of suspicion from the husband's side, thinking that probably the wife is cheating or having an external affairs outside. So this has to do with lack of trust. As married couples, trust is very important in marriage. You need to be able to trust your partner to believe that he or she cannot do certain things, or even if you're hearing it, or it's like a suspicion from you're not sure. You need to be able to have conversations, meaningful conversations with each other, to know if whatever you're hearing is actually true or not.
This question is a very sensitive question. However, in a very healthy marriage, and this type of question comes out from the husband, it means there's a form of doubt and insecurity. So communication is needed. Communication and trust is actually needed. But if the wife is understanding enough, it is something they can communicate out, and it depends on where the question is coming from and how it is being communicated, how it is being presented, because it can tamper with one's dignity, the trust she has for her husband. It depends on how it is being communicated actually.
So there you have it. DNA testing in marriages. For men, it's a good development, a good way to be sure of your children. But for the women, it breaks trust. I'm Ademola, reporting for PEN TV.